Hello soulmates, welcome to the Honest Academy. So in this video we're going to concentrate on making the upper part of the beautiful dress you saw on the thumbnail. For the lower part we'll have full videos on how to make circle skirts. Okay, so here I have my pattern. You can create your pattern this way so that whenever you need to do something, just transfer it and begin to work on it. So I'm transferring my base pattern to um the working pattern, which is paper unfold front and back. The paper or the fabric you'll be using is unfold, right? So I'm going to transfer all the markings, the darts. This is just the basic block which you can arrange to make life easy for you. This is done with a cardboard and just a paper on top for easy seeing. So I'm going to use my tracing wheel to transfer. For how to make a basic bodice, we have full video of this in the channel. The link will be in the description box. Okay, so after transferring, this is what I have. I will have to mark out the things that I need to make clearer for you to see. The dart lines, the bust line. There is no need for under bust here. We only have the bust and the waist, and then our armhole line. So for it to appear on the other side, I will have to trace it out. Since I did not trace everything with tracing wheel in the first part, placing a paper under will make it possible for the markings to show properly, right? Placing a fabric under will make it possible for the markings to show properly, and that's the reason for the fabric I have under there. Please do well to subscribe to this channel if you've not subscribed, and welcome back to all our subscribers who are returning to watch this video. Thank you so much. So I hope as you watch you also learn while I do some interpretations for you to understand what is going on. So here I have the complete full bodice for the front. The back does not need any alteration of this or transfer of that whatever. So here we're going to be closing the dart after marking cutting it out. We're going to close it up. In this video we're making use of a little knowledge of TR technique, that's transformational reconstruction. Okay, so after closing the dart, we'll now begin to mark the lines, the designs that we want. So when you're making something like this, you need two colors. Of course you can use one color, but for the sake of cutting out and joining, two colors makes it more beautiful. So I'll close the darts now and show you. So this is it after closing the darts. Then I will go ahead to measure if my waist is still what it is, waist divided by 2, right? So here I have used my marker and pencil to mark out the design that I want, the areas that will have the colors. You need to mark them out, and once you finish marking out, this is where the game is. Label it so that you know where to join and which place must touch which place. And for sure your lines will have to touch the apex of the bust. If not, it will be difficult for it to relax. Okay, so here I have cut it out. You can see the way it's relaxing because the markings touched the bust apex. If not, it will be difficult for it to relax. So you pardon me on this part. I've cut on the different colors of fabric that I want and then joined them together. It is necessary to add stay to the parts that will be joined together for it to come out neatly. Okay, and you need to learn how to sew pointed edges. The strict in sewing pointed edges is very important. It makes your work to come out very beautiful and neat. Pointed edges, curvy lines, it is necessary to learn it. So here for the sleeve, we're going to be making origami petals or bamboo shoots. Okay, so this is my basic sleeve pattern, and of course in the channel we still have how to cut a basic sleeve. So if you've not watched that video, please do well to watch it. It is very detailed on how to cut a basic sleeve. So from the basic sleeve, now we're going to be designing our bamboo shoot, right? So I'm going to be cutting out the basic sleeve, and of course this sleeve, the paper is on fold. So once you finish cutting it out, you open it up. As you can see, the paper is on fold. Okay, so from here now we're going to be marking the lines. Just watch the way I'm marking the lines. I just need 4 folds and I'm going to mark 4 lines, and once you mark, you label it. So there is no particular rule that says it must start from here, it must start from there. You just have to visualize what you want and how to go about it. That's number 3 line. I'm just cleaning these other parts for us not to get confused, and this will form the last line or the last leg, number 4. So I'm going to be opening up this line, slash them, add paper to it and close it back. I've slashed it, and then we're going to add, and of course you need to measure the amount of volume you need to add to each of this, and that will determine the amount of fabric that you will be folding over. 4 inches is okay. It will help it to fold properly. So once that is done, I'm going to tape it down and then locate the center of this paper by folding it over from this part that I taped down. Fold it over to meet the actual line, and then I'm going to have a grease line, and of course you need to cut out the excess. You can see the way it is. Then I'm going to connect the other line to touch the mid part, that is the grease line. You see where it stopped. Okay, and then at the center I'm going to rule a straight line. That is where the next cutting is going to start. Just watch it properly. You can see where the second slash started, right? This is just what you're going to be doing for all the lines. Remember, you marked, you wrote or labeled 1, 2, which line came first and which will be the second, and that is how you're going to follow it. So what we did in the first leg is exactly what we're going to be repeating in the second leg, the same process. So as usual, I'm going to tape it down. And then draw the lines to make it more visible. So I'm going to be folding it over to form a grease line at the center, just what we did in the first line. Sorry if this is cutting, I can see it's cutting. I didn't take notice of it in the first place. But just what we did in the first line is exactly what we're repeating in the second line. So I'm also going to mark out the center That is where we have the grease line, and then connect the other leg to it at the center. Of course, we're going to be cutting out the excess, and that's the reason for folding it over again. So we're going to be repeating the same process over and over again until we meet with the last line. This is not something you just rush over. You need to take your time and make sure that you know what you're doing. And of course, when you do it well, it's a very beautiful design. So I'm going to be repeating the same process and then finish it up. So this is the last part of it. You can see the way it's looking. You can do this as much as you want, and then close it back. So we're going to be transferring this to our fabric. We're going to see how to transfer this to a fabric and then sew it as a normal sleeve. So here I want to be using two colors of fabrics, and that's why I joined two colors like this and placed the paper at the middle of the two colors so that I can have it white and red. And this is it after cutting out, adding ½ inch sewing allowance. And then at the part that will be at the armhole, I added more than ½ inch. That's my sewing allowance for the armhole. So whatever you do on the paper is what you're going to do on the fabric. You can see the way I cut it open. This will make it possible for you to fold properly. So we're going to start this fold from the last line. And as you're folding, you're going to grab the paper and the fabric together from the last line so that you'll be able to close it well. Remember, we'll slash from below, and in closing, we're closing from the top. So as you fold each line together with the fabric and the paper, you iron it down. Okay, push it under, then close the next one. As you close, you iron it. Of course, you're not going to sew the paper and the fabric together, so the ironing will help you to know where the fabric is supposed to overlap. I hope you understood something from this video. I hope it made a lot of sense to you. So once you see a design like this, you already know how it came about. So this is the third line from the top, and we're also going to close it grabbing the fabric and the paper together. Make sure everything is well arranged. So we're closing down to the last one. You can see the way it is, and then still iron it down. Now once we're done ironing everything, you can see the back side of it. Once we're done ironing everything, we're going to remove the paper and then see what we have on the fabric. So we have the grease lines on the fabric, and we're going to be joining it like this, you can see it like this, beautiful, and like this. Okay, so I'm going to show us a trick on how to sew this, or how to go about it. We're going to be sewing it one line after another. So if you have any excess, feel free to trim it off. so that everything aligns together. So here for us to sew it, we're going to begin from one part, which is the last line, and then we sew from the inside. You can see the way it is. Once you close it like this, you sew from the inside, right? And then, wow. And that's how you're going to sew it. Good. You keep that, you take another one, the same thing until you're done with the sewing. Isn't this beautiful? Bye.